Frankly speaking, it had to be said. Yo, what's up? It's your boy Corey J, and welcome to another episode of To Be Frank, the podcast. Say what you gotta say the first time, not the next time. Well. Who do I have with me to my right, your left? You're about to find out. It's Mr. Creole Culture himself. This dude is a character. And when I tell you a character, just because he's a character does not mean that he's one of the most talented men in the South, truly in the South. I absolutely love his work. I'm honored to have him on my podcast. Without further ado, let me introduce you guys to today's special guest, Mr. Milton Arceneaux.
Why, thank you, Corey. That's a wonderful introduction. I'm gonna behave myself.
You trying to collect yourself?
Thank you. Wonderful introduction.
But
you're talented too. So
okay,
he's a very talented photographer, everything, dancer. I still don't know how to do that dance.
You're gonna do some. I'm gonna
work on that.
We're gonna work on that. After we do this recording, I'm gonna teach you your first line dance. How about that?
Good luck.
I tried.
Sorry, y'all. I don't have any rhythm.
So, Milton, first things first, go ahead and let my viewers know who you are. Just a brief intro,
Before I get kind of crazy, I'll be serious. My name is Milton Arceneaux. I am a published portrait photographer, international, won a few global awards.
Okay.
I'm also the co-founder of Louisiana Creole Culture, and we work on preserving our culture and documenting today for tomorrow. And, we have a few goals of documenting our culture in a larger scale. So we use the arts. The other co-founder is a graphic designer. So we really utilize the arts to preserve our culture and have several events throughout the community.
Okay. This man has awards, plural. You got it. He said awards.
So, some people take that wrong. I don't like
I love that. That's a good thing.
But I'm pretty good. I like to try.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing my picture in one of those big sizes, real soon by the master, Mr.
Now I'm a drink.
So, as y'all know, every episode has a title. So this one is called Mais Ga Sa, Milton. That's what it's called.
The French. Mais Ga Sa.
Mais Ga Sa.
That's a hashtag. So you're gonna spell that for me?
No, it's gonna be on the caption. They're gonna see it, and they're gonna figure out as
that's gonna be the one thing that sticks. Ga Sa.
They're gonna figure it out as the episode goes. Okay. So let's get into our very first question. Your roots in Louisiana. What is one of the things that makes Milton Arceneaux the Milton Arceneaux of Creole culture?
I actually told this story before, and I get emotional when I think about it because, I'm a very simple person. Mm-hmm. I appreciate the little things in life and not materialistic, superficial. Mm-hmm. And so one of the things that I think makes Milton is, I remember, I'm telling my age on this one, but we used to go to, we grew up poor. My mom used to take me and Mona to Girard Park.
What's up, Mona? I know you watching. What's up?
We used to go to Girard Park, and the Whopper was 99 cents. They used to have hot side.
That was that good stuff.
Hot side and the cold side. We used to stop to fill up and bill up and get a 59-cent drink.
Okay, that's before my time.
Yeah, that's before your time. But anyway, we used to sit at the park, and we was feeding them nutri-rats. We thought they were beavers at the time, but we didn't know any better.
Okay.
But anyway, I used to always tell my mom, I got a great idea. I had a big idea. Mm-hmm. And my mom always entertained that.
Yeah.
She never left me stagnant. She always let me dream.
Okay.
She always entertained my ideas. Until today, she'll tell you, that boy always got an idea.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the creative in me. Mm-hmm. That's what built the photography. That's what built Creole culture. Because I really feel like that's just, I see things and I always have an idea.
Yeah.
And so I really believe that's what makes me me. I'm always thinking of an idea.
Okay. I like that. That's a real good response, which brings me into asking about your childhood. Of all the kids, what number are you And is there any other kid that stands out creatively as much as you do?
So it's just my sister and I. My sister's older.
Okay.
We have the same mother, same father, grew up in the same house, and couldn't be any more different.
Okay.
And we're night and day. She'll tell you that she's the popular one. I'm the more reserved one. But she's also talented. She's also very talented. Actually, I was her second shooter 20 years ago.
Okay.
My sister shoots weddings, and her name is Mona Lisa Photography. Shout out Mona. But I was her second shooter, believe it or not, 20 years ago. Shooting in automatic. Didn't know what I was doing. Little did I know I would fall in love with still images. Yeah. But it's just my sister and I made a lot of money off of her because she used to sneak out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
you going to Strawberry? Yeah. If you don't, give me some money, or I'm telling. That's what every young
baby always got to be like that, y'all. The youngest always got to act like
we
that?
We always have to monopolize on the
older sibling. That's not right.
I made a killing because she was always sneaking out. But this ain't about her. Sorry.
You putting her business out there. You down bad.
But yeah, so it's just my sister now.
Wow. So while we in that, recall a childhood photo that you still remember of you.
Oh my God. Childhood photo. My sister probably has this like on favorites right now.
Yeah.
It was a childhood photo of me with a perm.
Oh, you had hair?
Yeah. But my mama put me this. My mom used to relax my sister's hair, and like every time she had, I don't know, back in the day, you had the little, I think it was like in a jar or something.
Okay.
And she would take the last little piece and she put that to the side and had a long part right there. That's probably why this side disappeared faster.
Let me find out you was trying to be one of the 5 heartbeats.
Bro, look, and my mom and them took a picture in there, and I had a butterfly collar. I'll never forget that. I don't know. My mom used to sew our clothes.
Oh Lord,
that picture, I'm telling you, I swear to God, I bet Monica, it's probably somewhere in the house.
So you need to enlarge it and put it in your house.
I'll send it to you so you can throw it up.
Because that makes a.
It's funny as heck.
You know,
I got this big part. Like I look like I don't know what I was doing.
So the reason why I asked the question is primarily because I recall my childhood photos, and we're both photographers. You guys, we're both photographers.
He good.
And one of my favorite photos of me is me at my aunt's house, my Aunt Rosa May. Shout out to my Aunt Rosa May.
Really?
Yeah. And
how old were you?
I was, I guess you can say 5, 6 years old. I had this like sweater vest thing, corduroy pant thing, all was fresh. My mom,
fashionable from the jump.
You the best, mom. You the best. My mom
fashionable
had me
from the jump.
My mama had me. Look, it's my daddy's side. Those Franks don't play. When they step, they step. That's what it is. And so in the photo, I was dancing to my aunt's. She had this stereo system. It was fire. It was in the corner, and I was tearing it down. And the photo has me in a still, and to this day, that is like my all-time favorite photo. And I say that because a lot of times I feel that right now that we are in a season where folks really wonder what's next in their life. And I feel that once you revisit those childhood passions, you'll realize that, hey, this was something that I really did like. You know what I'm saying? Because funny enough, which brings me to my next question. When I grew up in school in the 2nd grade, I told my teacher I wanted to be a baker. Shout out to my 2nd grade teacher, Miss Georgia Edwards.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, I don't know if that's okay for me to say that because everybody else had traditional things. Athlete, doctor, nurse, teacher.
Right.
And I recall her saying, Corey, you can be anything that you want to be. And that has resonated in my spirit ever since then.
So can you bake?
I can bake, but I'd rather just eat. So if y'all some good bakers, holler at To Be Frank. I want to taste your stuff. Look, I'm going to taste it live. Like, I'll bring Milton too. I don't know if he could eat that stuff, but, I'll bring him.
I'm a diabetical.
Oh, okay. Well, y'all gonna bring the sugar-free one for him, and I'm going to take the other one. So, which brings me to my question. As a child, what was it you wanted to be when you grew up? Like, did you have that? Well, you just mentioned you didn't have that passion as a photographer, but do you recall what was like your career day person? Like, who you wanted to be? I'm taking him way back, y'all.
No, I'm actually thinking about if I want to be honest or not. Honestly,
I need you to be frank.
Okay. honestly, one of my passions is like my first career was juvenile probation.
Okay.
I was a juvenile probation officer, and when I was young, everybody in my neighborhood went to Immaculate Heart Rosary, and then when Rosary closed, they went to Erlin's STM. We'll pour, so we went to. I'm a Viking through and through.
Okay.
JW Falk, Mawson,
Okay.
and Mawson.
Okay.
You are who you be. A child becomes who they tell them they're going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I was always told I was the knucklehead that was going to be in jail.
Okay.
That's who I thought I was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
I was really a knucklehead.
Okay.
Never been to jail, but so I feel like a very long time ago, my dreams were taken from me because I was persuaded that I couldn't be. But I always wanted to be an attorney.
Gotcha.
But that was robbed from me because I wasn't, supposed to be that.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm always passionate. If you notice in my posts, I'm always encouraging people because I feel like sometimes people just need to hear they could be whatever they want to be. But I always had a passion for culture.
Mm-hmm.
My mom and National Geographic, we spent money on that. And so
that's not poor.
That was the one thing she spent money on.
Yeah.
Oh, it was probably bologna sandwiches, brother. Sometimes there was no mayonnaise to go on it. But no,
ain't nothing wrong with that bologna.
So, but if
I don't eat it no more. But yeah,
if I had somebody encouraging me, I probably would have been an attorney.
Okay.
That would have been my first career choice. But I probably would have still ended up in photography.
Okay. Well, let's pull a heartstring for a minute. Talk to 8-year-old Milton right now. What would you tell 8-year-old Milton?
You're actually smart. Okay. Don't believe what people say. The pedigree doesn't determine your future.
Sound like a wise man to me, y'all.
That's what I would say.
I like that. That's really good. Which brings me to, it's time for us to get to nitty gritty. It's time for us to really say what you got to say the first time, not the next time.
Ooh, Lord.
When it comes to Creole and Cajun,
that's been we're not doing that.
It's been an ongoing debate here in Louisiana, and with the name of your brand, Creole Culture, I'm sure you have been approached with questions like, well, why you chose Creole instead of Cajun and what have you. How does Milton respond to questions that challenge his brand name?
I'm Creole. People have changed the definition over time.
Mm-hmm.
I abide by the original definition, which is born of the new world.
Mm-hmm.
And but if you notice, we had a campaign that was called Creoles of You.
Correct.
And the
outstanding.
And the reason why we created that was because somebody told my brother-in-law he was too dark to be Creole. So one of our missions is actually to debunk myths. And so people don't understand that there were white Creoles, but people like to deny the fact they allocate Cajun to white,
gotcha.
Creole to black. It's just that's the world we live in. They could be in denial if they want, but that's the world we live in. But the truth of the matter is we're Creoles of color. And because there's white Creoles, they just choose to identify as Cajun. There's most of the Cajuns that say they're Cajun has no connection to Acadian. But no, I'm proud to be Creole. Creoles of color.
Okay.
I want to preserve that as much as I can, and we will continue to do it.
I thank you for your transparency because I feel that one of the things that are missing in our school systems is more of Louisiana culture. And when I say that, I want to reference Louisiana history. Like I remember being in high school, we had a class that was, Louisiana history. Though I felt that it didn't go as much in depth as need be. And I feel the same way when it comes down for Black history. Like you get the surface leaders, you don't get the local leaders. And there's a lot of unsung heroes around here that folks really don't know about. Should someone come up to you and want to document a certain individual within the Creole culture, what is the way they go about contacting you?
So first, phone number 713-838-6770. Milton at creoleculture.com. Easy. We document Creole culture as a whole, which means that there are areas that we don't specialize in.
Okay.
There's organizations out there who specialize in certain things, like Creole Inc. specializes in preserving Creole French. So situations like that, we reach across the table because that's their area. So we don't know that, so we like come help us. But we believe in celebrating people. That's why we have the honorees every year. And this year we opened it up to the public so they could, nominate people. But I'm all about stories. I feel like everybody glorifies stories that you have to have certain status or the economic background, but everyone has a story that's really important. And some people are unsung heroes. That's my most passionate category.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to find the true unsung heroes. And when I mean that, is the lady that's in the neighborhood that knows that who child mama is working, who daddy is not going to be there. So she going to fix a plate of food and make sure they eat. But she not in front of the camera.
Yeah.
The neighborhood knows who she is.
Yeah.
But nobody knows who, you know what I'm saying?
So making those good.
Exactly.
Good. Yeah.
So to me, those are the unsung heroes. But in far as stories, I believe in telling all stories. I'm always up for shorts. I love making short films. And so if somebody that you know of please reach out to me. And Corey's going to commit to being like maybe a creative director or something. Because I've been trying to get him on. But anyway, definitely stories are valuable. And, to take it a step further, when you talked about Black history, the thing is that they only talk about certain people and they also change the narrative about certain people. Because a lot of the stories they talk about, they're deeper than what they say.
Yeah.
Like people talk about Martin and Malcolm, but they don't talk about the in-depth things of Martin and Malcolm and what was about to happen with Martin and Malcolm collaborating. So it's stories like that has been altered so much. And it's like, we need more stories to be told truthfully by us.
Yeah.
See, that was the whole problem. We weren't telling our stories.
Yeah.
They were telling our stories.
Because everything is top secret. And everything. I mean, we have to come off of the whole top secret thing.
Absolutely.
And the reason why I'm saying it is because there's a new generation growing up. And they're having identity issues. Yeah. And I feel that is a whole cause of them dealing with anxiety, dealing with depression.
But they're not built like us either.
They're not. Though, who is there to build them? Because think about it. Let's stop and think for a second. When we were their age, we had a lot of individuals that we looked up to.
Oh, yeah.
Whether
most
they
definitely.
were in the neighborhood, whether they were in the church, whether they were in the school. I mean, we had a lot. Like, I know for me, that's what made me start public speaking. When I was in the 6th grade, shout out to my 6th grade teacher, Miss Lavonia Thomas.
And mine was Miss Petrie at Northside, freshman year debate team.
Plaisance Elementary, holding it down.
Northside.
She Indians holding it down.
But ain't that crazy that we remember those people?
Oh, definitely. Because she told me that, she said, Corey, if you ever want to be anywhere in life, there's one body part that you have to know how to use.
Hot dog, better say it.
And that's your mouth. Yep. Whenever you go to speak, your voice determines what moves the room.
Absolutely.
And ever since she said that, that has stayed on me ever since. And I feel that we, as the generation that we are now, we need to be the voice for the youth so they can bring our future in the manner that it needs to be in. Because we had people speaking positive under us. Who do they have speaking unto them? All right, I'm going to be frank. Uh-oh. It's time to put them phones and them laptops down. And let me take that back. Not the laptops, the tablets. When y'all don't want to be bothered with y'all kids, y'all hurry up and y'all give them those electronic devices and y'all don't know what they're doing on those devices. And then you're wondering why that child is cutting up. That's why that child is cutting up. Because you're not giving that child any time.
Do you understand the freedom? Like, don't get, again, that soapbox is passionate. When somebody hands their child that tablet, do you understand the freedom they giving that child to roam? Like when my mama said go play outside, we couldn't go past.
We couldn't get out the yard.
We couldn't go down the street.
And when that street light came on, get your behind.
You hand them that tablet with Wi-Fi. I don't care if you got parental guidance on it, all that. Them children is going worldwide. And that's why
it's called the World Wide Web. And they have social media accounts. What you doing with social media accounts and you can't even read? You can barely sign your name. Okay. And then icing on the cake, some of y'all don't even know your address. That's a problem. How you in high school, you don't know your address, and you telling me, oh, I live in the blue house on the 3rd Street in this such and such a neighborhood. I know you learn. We gonna be frank on here. And that's
It's
what
sad.
exactly what's going on. And I'm saying this out of love because I care about our future. I'm grateful for all these leaders that that spoke, not only spoken to us, but look.
But how many leaders? See, I think that there was a time when I grew up. I was born in the 70s. And it's like the leaders were not just the doctors and the lawyers. The leaders were the street dudes too.
Exactly.
Because I remember a street dude, and I ain't gonna say his name, but he told me, "See, you don't belong here. You need to go over there and make a difference." And I even think J. Cole
caught you off guard.
J. Cole says it in one of his tracks. It's like, we had people in the street that said, don't do what I'm doing. I don't have a choice.
Yeah.
You go do what you're doing because you're capable of doing better and more and curbing it. We don't have that today. We have people encouraging that life. Street life that's going to end you up, put you nowhere.
Because they think it's the easy life.
That's cute too.
And it's not everybody want to trend. Everybody want to clout chase. And that's not the way. Like,
that's so temporary.
You need to be your, it is.
That's so temporary.
Because back then, we used to joke that folks like that were considered one-hit wonders.
Yeah.
You don't hear that term no more. Because back then...
One viral wonder. One viral wonder.
Like, you have...
You hear me, Miss Netta?
Oh, not on my show.
One viral... One viral wonder.
Show. We're not doing this.
Okay. I thought it was being frank.
No, you being frank, but that's one of the words you can't use on
one viral wonder. We're gonna stop there.
So while I'm on that topic though, Milton, I want to know who were people. Name 3 people that you looked up to growing up.
Hands down, my father.
Okay.
You know how many people could actually say their father was their hero?
Yeah.
My father was my hero.
Okay.
Absolute best man on the planet.
Yeah.
My father, my uncle, Ronald, they call him Butter, which is, if people know Butter, they're going to be like, Butter? I'll be like, yep, Butter. Butter was my dad was a straight-laced dude.
Okay.
Butter was round the way. And he kept my head straight. And my mom, about the simple things. Believe it or not, I was surrounded by people who really kept me grounded.
Yeah.
And like, I just didn't grow up with being persuaded stuff. Here's the thing. Now let's be frank.
Okay, I'm here for it. I'm listening.
Stop following people.
I mean,
because let me tell you something. What makes you happy, what makes that person happy, doesn't necessarily it's not gonna make you happy.
No,
you have to find what makes you happy. I don't drive no new car. I don't have a brand new BMW. But that doesn't make me happy.
Right.
But that may make somebody else happy. So I'm not going to be mad at that person. I'm not going to hate on that person. Go get your BMW. I don't want a BMW. I want another stamp on my passport.
Okay.
That's what makes me happy. People need to learn what makes them happy instead of mimicking other people to try to find. That's not your path. Your path is your path. If it's that person's path to have this, and that, and you to have something completely opposite, that's your path. And you need to understand what makes you happy. Too many people following people that's why they're not happy.
You're right. And while you're saying that, I want to ask you, what do you feel is the key difference between happiness and joy? Because happiness and joy is not the same thing at all.
That's the question.
I'm going to let you give your response, and then I will give you my response.
Happiness and joy.
Because that's been an ongoing discussion that I've been having lately. And I've been asking folks, give me, your honest opinion. And I'm like, here we go. I'm just fixing my shirt.
I don't know. I'd have to Google the definition to be politically correct.
You don't have to Google. I want you
happiness
to just
and joy.
Give me Milton's definition of happiness and Milton's definition of joy. And I want you to contrast the two.
Man, that's a really hard question. Happiness, I think happiness is more temporary than joy. I think happiness can be projected on you. But I think true joy probably comes from self. And it probably have more longevity. That's the best. That's the best I can do.
It's no right or wrong answer because everyone knows themselves, and there is a difference. So, and I'm so glad you brought the whole happiness piece up because so many people saying they're happy, but for me, happiness is considered a temporary emotion.
Yeah,
Just like sadness, just like anger, just tiredness, any of those. But when it comes down to joy, just like it says in the Bible, that's everlasting.
Hot dang.
It's everlasting. So your goal is to find what brings you joy, not just any type of joy, unspeakable joy.
Hot dog.
And when it comes down to having that unspeakable joy, I could sit down next to Milton and he could not say nothing but just start laughing, and I'm gonna start laughing. Why? Because that comes from a place within. How many people have that place within that they just let that joy out?
Yeah.
And it's like when it comes down to happy, oh yeah, I'm happy. Don't let somebody just all of a sudden be like, you know what, you make me sick.
Mm-hmm.
Or like they did with Ty Tribbett when he said his comment, which I'm not even gonna get into all of that. Though, because I really don't have an opinion about either or. I just feel, and I'll just leave it that and be real quick. Self-check yourself. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't worry about what everybody else saying. Self-check yourself.
But you know what? Self-check yourself. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
A lot of people don't have no real friends.
They don't. Well, they're labeling them wrong.
Because you know what? My friends make me mad.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, you ain't right. Like, and when I say that, people need friends that check them. Like, you out of pocket.
Yeah.
So when you saying that, it's like, some people don't have no real friends.
They don't.
Because my friends are going to tell me if I'm wrong.
My parents taught me at a very young age about friendship, on how to be careful on who I'm hanging out with.
Absolutely.
And one of the key things that my mama taught me was, which that's what's going on right now. A lot of people labeling their friends as best friends.
Oh,
I don't call nobody my
so
best friend.
easy to.
My parents, my mama especially, she said, don't ever call nobody your best friend. Because when you call somebody your best friend, they're likely to turn out to your worst enemy. When you close with somebody, call them your true friend and watch how y'all grow together.
Okay.
And that has been a nugget that I have kept all these years, and I've tested it. I've been numerous of times of calling people best friend and watched them turn into worst enemies.
By definition,
and I'm not ever doing that anymore. And the reason why is, let me put y'all on game. When you call somebody a best friend, you put them on a pedestal. So the minute you tell them no,
that's right,
they feel like you done threw them down. And that's not what it's supposed to be about.
It's
you
not.
shouldn't play favorites. Yeah, you enjoy your friends, but you shouldn't play favorites. So when it comes down to you and friendships, there's many types of friendships.
Yeah.
And there's some that don't even need to be labeled friendships, where you have associates, acquaintances, colleagues, what have you.
Yeah.
What makes Milton's friends his friends?
Oh my God, we got to fight. We have to go through some things. I've had all my friends. I have 5 friends, 4 or 5 real friends.
Okay.
You know, true friends. And none of them have been my friend for less than 20 years. So we've experienced some things together. We fought, called out each other. We have secrets. But a real friend y'all got to go through some stuff. Like, people be mad, like, we ain't friends no more. Well, y'all were never friends. Like, we gonna fight. Like, I must fight with, like, Winard. And every friend serves a purpose. Like, if I want to be coddled and feel better, I'm gonna call Heavy. If I want somebody to tell me the truth, I'm gonna call Winard. Like, I need the truth.
Yeah.
Like, hurt me with the truth. So you have to understand the role of your friend, because every friend doesn't fit the same role. But
that's good.
But we
that's good.
But we have been friends for over 20 years, every single one of them. So they, you know what you need from that friend, and that friend should know what you need without them telling you.
Well, friendships these days really don't even last 5 minutes.
No, not at all.
They don't last 5 minutes.
They don't.
I mean, barely 5 months. You know what I'm saying? And I feel the reason why that happens is people don't really take the time to get to know people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta take that time to learn a person.
So many people are just self-absorbed, and it's all about opportunists. So a lot of people will befriend someone for something about self. Like, there's something that they need from that person. So, but I think that's rooted in community, to be honest with you.
It is.
I feel like when we grew up in the same house. We stayed there 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
these days people buy a house and then they got to start a house and then they got another house and then they got another house. We stayed in the same neighborhood. I can tell you everybody down the street, every single person down in the whole neighborhood. And I think that is, we indirectly learn things. So if I'm growing up bouncing, then what's telling me that the friend is going to be there forever?
That's good.
So I don't know. I guess I just grew up different.
Well, it's not different. You grew up with these certain values and morals, and that's what media taught us. Back then, I remember some of my favorite shows: A Different World, Family Matters, Fresh Prince.
I was in love with Cree Summers. I'm sorry, I had a Cree Summers moment. Freddie.
You would pick the light skin one, huh?
No, it was the hair. Let me tell you something. It's natural.
The natural she still looks the same. Exactly. You saw they did that.
I follow her still.
That 30-year reunion. Yeah, I'm like, wow.
I have a natural thing. We live in a world full of, as a photographer, you know this. It's all about filters and this.
I don't like that. Don't put no old funky filter on me.
So give me something natural.
Because you can't recognize them when you see them.
Them little swoops y'all be putting right there. I don't understand that. We ain't gonna talk about that. Okay.
That I call
that baby hair. Like that. Is it supposed to not look real? Because it doesn't look real. Is it and by the way, let's have a photographer moment. That is the hardest thing to edit.
It is. It really is.
Ask any photographer. Y'all please make sure that's right before y'all come.
It is.
On camera. That's really hard to edit.
Natural is best. And let me even tag along with you on that emphasis. Same thing with makeup. You don't want to overdo your makeup because there's a lot of times when you bring these undertones on your eyes. And I don't even have to go into detail for you guys to understand what
I'm talking about. Of them lashes.
Yeah. And
so it's like a double whammy.
It makes it really hard for us to edit. You know what I'm saying? So
sorry.
It's okay. But we're saying this to let you know, love you.
Yep.
Because as you mentioned, that was the thing about Cree that you like.
Yep.
And
natural.
When you look at it, because I'm an 80s baby. So growing up in the 90s, we watched these shows where, and especially the musicians and the actresses, they were all natural. Was nothing, all of those extra stuff. So it's like, be okay. You have long hair, short hair, like be okay with your hair. Embrace your look.
Look at those same people today. They look wonderful.
Yeah, they look wonderful. And no drugs. Wonderful.
I was talking
drugs.
I saw Jodie Watley picture today, and I was like, how does Jodie Watley still look like Jodie Watley?
Angela Bassett.
And it's just they
Angela
love
Bassett is popular.
Don't get me wrong. Good money would get nice little facial.
We're gonna leave you at like. So Milton, while we talking about friendships, I want to bring the topic that has been going on over and over on social media. Why my friends don't support me in business. And and it's like I've been bringing this conversation with my other brand, Spoken Red, over and over because folks are like, well, you done brought a whole nother brand in. What's going on with your other brand? I'm like, well, my other brand is on its golden year, 17 years and counting. Then you have To Be Frank, which is approaching the second year. Though it's two different entities. Well, what if people don't want to support? And I'm like, folks come with all these random questions, and I'm like, I'm fine with questions. I'll answer your questions, what have you. Though the big question is it really relevant? What are we talking about? Because you said something earlier that was really pivotal about friends knowing who you are. You know what I'm saying? You should be able to have an argument and still be okay with each other. But in some instances, I find that folks tend to go to the extreme of, well, if you was my friend, you would have supported my business. And
I don't believe
something that you said earlier was which I'm getting to, that was pivotal, how you said that you have different categories of friends. So you have some friends that you just want to make you laugh and cut up. Then you have these other friends that will give you that constructive criticism and get you right back on track. So again, going back to my initial question, what is your thoughts on people feeling you're not really my friend if you don't support my business?
Well, people have to understand there's a couple of things. Support comes different ways. And I think a lot of people define support as I got to buy your product or purchase your service, which is not true. Support can come multitude of ways. The other thing is that a lot of people, your friends might not be your client or customer, but their friends might be.
Correct.
I've had more success outside of my friend circle, acquaintance circle, people I know. Because people that know you will put you in a box. People that know you will say, "Oh, you're this," and they may know your past, so they'll automatically presume that this is who you are, and you have no talents or abilities outside of that box. But what I want people to understand, that's not your problem. That's a them problem.
Worried about
that's
that.
a them problem. That's not a yo problem, because only you know. And I tell people all the time, look, I left corporate America and I had good money and all that. But it takes a special kind of person to be an entrepreneur. And I'm going to tell every entrepreneur out there, you never know how close you are to your breakthrough. It could literally be the next 5 minutes. And when people criticize you, because one of the things that get on my nerves is, tell me you got a cute little business. That is the most annoying thing
cringe
ever.
Alert. Cringe alert.
Like,
cringe
seriously.
alert.
Oh, you got a nice
If you don't like
business.
me, just say that. If you don't like me, then don't talk to me.
Oh, I heard about your little business. That is the most insulting thing you can say.
Just
because
don't say nothing.
You don't leave your corporate job or career and work 8 to 5 anymore. You literally work. You are the salesman, the marketer, the provider. You are the strategist. Like, you are literally everything. Exactly. Every day, all day, you probably work 26 hours a day. And shout out to Karen Dugas, because I still need to know that secret, because I still think you get 26 hours in a day. I don't know what kind of deal you made with God, but I need them 26 hours.
I want to meet Karen. Karen, hit me.
Like, seriously, like, there, you don't stop as an entrepreneur. Period. So when them people criticize you, understand you built different. And you need to own that. Like, you know how much courage and strength and belief in self you have to deal with to bet on you. They can't understand that. They need the security of punching their time clock. But to bet on you, you built different. So the support will come. But most of the time, it's not from your friend circle or your acquaintance.
So, Milton, how do you support you, though?
How do I support me?
Yeah. So it's like, you made it evident that to the entrepreneurs that's watching, not to quit. You know, your breakthrough is literally right there. How does Milton maintain that with himself? What do you do to keep you encouraged, to keep your brand alive?
There's a couple of things what I had to learn the hard way, because you're going to fail a lot. But one thing I realized is kind of like, before I looked like this, I used to be really fit.
Okay.
But you have to understand something about working out and this whole thing of entrepreneurship. I look at the same way. You have to you could go and work out really hard 4-5 days, but you got to give yourself a break. Like, you have to, like, my daddy used to say, you're no good to anyone else unless you're good for yourself. So you have to take those mental breaks. And in order to grow and develop, you have to take the mental breaks. Like, it may kill you to take those mental breaks, but you got to take them, because you need to relax, just like that muscle, in order to grow.
Right.
That's one thing. The other thing is you. Like working for, like, I don't know how to explain this any other way than, it's like, you go to work, you punch a time clock, and no matter how hard you work, somebody else tells you how much you work. But when you work for you, if there's anything that you need to motivate you, understand that you determine your worth.
That's the truth.
Like, if the harder you work, the more money you're gonna make. Like, there's no cap when it comes to you. So, like, know that. Like, if anything is like, I'm tired, I don't feel like, you define how much money you want to make.
Right.
You decide how much you want to grow. You decide the brand you want to present. And stop talking about personal stuff when you're building a brand. That is so.
Please say that again.
Oh my God.
Please look directly in the camera. And
stop saying personal things when you're building a brand for you.
That is correct.
Because you know how many people are going to look at your stream and be like, how can they take you serious when they talk, when you talking about, we ain't going to talk about it. But talking about personal stuff is a no-go. And you know what? And sometimes it doesn't happen overnight, especially like if you you have to just always work towards it.
Right.
Like before you make that post, count to 10. Before you make that post, go run around the block, go pray. Go say a novena.
Let's switch it up. Go pray.
Or
go
take
lay
a nap.
Prostrate.
Yeah.
Put some gospel music on. Put your meditation.
Whatever it is.
Put your cucumber eye mask on. Do whatever you got to do. Like,
and by the time you go back to that post, you're gonna be like, man.
But that goes into self-glorification.
Yep.
This was what I wanted to bring up. People seek validation through other people when the only validation you need is from the Lord. That's number one. Though, number two, you have to have that assurance within yourself that I am whole, I am complete, I am well. And to go even further which is very good, which you mentioned, on a PR standpoint, is mixing the two.
Yep.
When you mix your personal views on your business page, bruh, that don't work like that. It's two different things. And folks really don't understand the damage that it can cause. Because you can be quick on your brand and say something negative about a group of people, and then all of a sudden they don't want to deal with you whatsoever.
Exactly.
You know, we just mentioned about the hair thing. We didn't say that to offend anyone.
We're trying to help you.
We letting you know we need that natural approach with you. So should edits be needed, it's easier for us to do the edits. Right. It's your money. You do what you want to do. Though that's with everything. Yeah. It's like you determine the quality of your life.
I think that what you said was so important is that people are seeking so much validation from other people. But let me tell you the flip side and the downside to that. If you give someone the authority to determine your self-worth, you also give someone the authority to discount your self-worth.
I like that.
So like you can't expect people to tell you what you worth. You have to know what you're worth. Because if you expect people to tell you, man, you're giving them too much power.
Well, yeah, because folks tend to feel too much power. Like, and the way I look at it is, and I don't mean to say it like this, well, you know, I'm going
say what I gotta be frank.
I want to say what I gotta say the first time.
Be frank. Be frank.
Not the next time. Is that folks let people put price tags on them as clearance tags instead of limited edition.
That orange tag.
That yellow one.
That yellow is 20% off.
That red one, 90%. You gotta go.
You gotta look at the little chart to see, red.
Let me see that red dot.
That's true.
Y'all, I cannot say this
Nobody could do what you do.
No. And this is another thing. I want to say this too. Just because we're both photographers does not mean I feel that I'm in competition with you.
Nah, man. Say it again.
We are not in competition with each other. There's nothing wrong with both of us being on the same screen.
Nothing.
It's nothing wrong with me and him being at an event, both taking photos at the same time.
Ooh,
like, let me put y'all on game real quick. One thing that happened with me and Milton, the very first time we worked together, was us both doing photography. He was doing lifestyle shots. I was doing business headshots. We communicated with each other. Guess how long? The entire time at the event. It was none. Oh, I don't want to talk to him because he's gonna try to.
Matter of fact, didn't we talk about what we was gonna do first? Like what you comfortable doing? And what you like? Yeah, what you were doing? Yeah,
and we literally started talking from outside. We were unloading our vehicles.
Had a blast.
I'm telling y'all this all to say, it doesn't matter if it's 17 photographers or 7 photographers.
That's right.
Do what you do and make your brand significant.
That's right.
And aside from that, stop the beef. It's
and trashing people. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you, man. When the client calls me and they trash and they first come out the gate trashing another photographer, I send them on their way. Because you have to support your fellow photographers. Because you know what? That could just be a miserable client. You don't know this whole story. You don't know how it goes. And no, there's no beef. And Corey understands. Matter of fact, I reached out to Corey and Terry because I was working on a project. And the thing is, because as photographers, you need to understand that nobody's going to do what you do. What Corey shoots, what Terry shoots, what anybody shoots, like I'm a fan of Macy's work. I'm a fan of Cameron's work. And I just believe you can learn something from every photographer. Like, I wholeheartedly believe that. Like, I don't care if it's a camera trick, a light trick. That beef stuff, man, please, you better learn from somebody. Because look, I peeked my head in there when Corey was shooting. I was like, let me see how he got them lights. Let me see where he got his. Because you could learn from somebody. And
I still want you to take my picture that day, but I'm not gonna be salty about it. I'm still.
It's always you photographers get intimidated when other photographers ask that picture. You get nervous.
Not me. I like watching people work.
Yeah.
Like, you see how you like telling the stories with Creole culture? That is the story behind me with photography. Yeah. So growing up, my first love was the Polaroid camera.
Oh man, them good Polaroids.
Yeah.
And you used to write on them at the bottom.
Yeah. And I remember how I fell in love with it. Shout out to Winn-Dixie. I miss y'all. Y'all used to be
Simcoe?
Oh. Man. Well, I'm not from Lafayette, so I'm from Appaloosa.
They had a Winn-Dixie in Appaloosa?
Yes, which one was? I used to work.
Was it at my mama's?
Where Super One was. Where Super One is.
Okay.
That used to be Winn-Dixie.
Lord.
Yeah. So.
Drink on that. I worked at Winn-Dixie for 5 days.
I was a cashier for 2
years. I worked there for 5 days.
No, a year. 1 year. My senior year.
He told me to come in on my day off. I quit.
They made me cut my mustache. My facial hair was barely grown.
And he was like,
he was like, oh no, you gotta cut that off. I was like, I don't even know
was walking in with Dixie like that.
All I had was a little bit right there and a little bit right there. And I'm like, it's not, you could blow it off and it's gonna But whatever. But
stop competing with each other and learn from one another.
So
period.
So you made me forget what I wanted to say. What was my point with
Polaroids?
Oh yeah. Dixie. So, and I remember I was at Winn-Dixie and I took the lady took my picture. It was my birthday. That was the thing. They had what's called the Cookie Club.
Oh wow.
And so it's like when it was your birthday, they would take your picture with this Polaroid and they would put your picture up on the board saying it's your birthday and then giving you a copy of it. Man, that was dope to me. And that was my very first time falling in love with the camera. From that day, that's what brought me into photography. I was like, I want to, every time I capture somebody, I want them to relive that moment again. That photo will always tell the story.
Exactly.
Because it's that standstill in time.
It's never going to happen
again.
It's
just like those home videos.
Yeah.
Like, I miss VHS. I really do. Like, we will record everything. Like, I know people that have different gatherings, families. It's time to get together. All that animosity too. Like, that need to chill out too. Like, the reunions and all of that stuff. Like, that was so dope. Now, this is my thing. And I'm not pushing no agenda on nobody. I'm not about agenda at all. I'm about itinerary.
Oh,
there's a difference. Yeah, there's a difference. You see, the Lord showed me with agenda that's closed-minded.
Yep.
You want everything to go directly on what's on that paper.
Yes.
So when you have an itinerary, you keep it open for him to come in so you can maneuver around.
Right.
And let him have room to help you understand what needs to be done in that time. Case in point for To Be Frank. When folks come on this show, it's no script.
None.
You have those 2 taglines and that's it. You don't get questions beforehand. We don't have a pep talk. None of that. Like, it's straight up, frankly speaking, which goes back to what I was saying in reference to choosing a career that fits you.
Yeah.
Like, that should make your heart beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you feel your heart racing, that's the thing that you should be doing. Like,
because if you're doing it for money, it's not gonna last.
Yeah, because you're just there to just be there.
You have to be really love what you're doing, when, especially when it comes to entrepreneurship and a passion.
Yeah,
like you can't just do something for money,
right?
Because that's no quick fix to that.
And again, you can't try to compete against somebody.
Yeah,
let me do it because I could do it better than him. No, it don't matter. Like you can try all you want. That person still has that signature about them. Absolutely. So that it is what it is. So Milton, we're getting ready to wrap up your interview. This has been
quick.
This has been an amazing interview. I want folks to know what is next for Milton. What is, and if you don't want to disclose it, you don't have to.
No.
But what is something that you would like people to know that you have coming up next?
One of the biggest things that I want to do is last year we did our honorees.
Mm-hmm.
We doing a different approach this year.
Mm-hmm.
We are asking the community to nominate people in the categories. We have 20 categories ranging from education to agriculture and tech. We want to highlight those people and honor those people, but you have to submit them. CreoleCulture.com. Go to the honorees. If you want to submit somebody, submit them to nominate them. Write a short bio. If you can't write a short form of why they should be nominated, that's why we put it there. Because like if you don't want to invest your time in saying this person should be honored because of, then they shouldn't be there in the first place.
Gotcha.
Disclosure is no politicians or no religious leaders. We have enough problems fighting Creole versus Cajun.
Total get it.
But we keep it out of there. But we're trying to find a solution to that too, because we have some great people out there doing some great things. But we really, really, really would love the community to engage in that, because that happens every October, Creole Heritage Month.
Okay.
And we really take a lot of pride in that. We need to celebrate our people. We need to tell the stories. We need to support one another. And if that's what's going on with us, we'll have the exhibit as we always do. The book, if you want to be a sponsor, there's a link there. You could be on the sponsor. Our books are created in Italy, handcrafted, and you know how I am about being meticulous. So yeah, that's what's going on with Creole Culture. We're working on a few shorts. Again, we're artists, so we use the arts to do everything Creole Culture.
Okay.
But another thing is, if anything you remember from me, I want you to remember this. There will always be more power in collaboration than competition. Period.
That's the
There's
truth.
no ifs, no ands, or buts. If you could do anything, reach across the table, collaborate with somebody, be a stronger force, be a positive person in somebody's life, tell somebody they can, tell them it's possible. Instead of telling them all the things that could go wrong, tell them some solutions to the things that could go wrong. Creole Culture is passionate. We believe in what we do. We do stuff at a high standard. And we truly believe in collaboration. And so if you're interested in anything dealing with the culture, please reach out to me. Again, Milton at CreoleCulture.com. We paid a lot of money for that domain. So y'all use it. Like for real. Like, and they trying to steal it every day. We get a notification.
Because they want to be Creole.
No, it's just a good domain. And you know, they trying to change the narrative, but I'm not getting on that soapbox. But no, and support your people. Like there's no reason why the views shouldn't be high, not because I'm on it. It's just a support. Like if y'all can watch trash TV,
watch some quality
stuff, because you really feed your mind and what you become. I watch YouTube probably all day. That's educational stuff, YouTube University as they call it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm not much of a TV person at all.
Yeah.
It's just there for decoration.
Just stop, grow together, support your community, take a picture. Like,
take that selfie.
Look, let me tell you, take a picture. My mama used to say, I'm gonna leave with this. A picture is not for today. It's for later on. It's so true. Like, it's so true. Like, every person, every museum, everything you go to, they always looking for a photo. Take the picture. Book me. Take them family photos again. We're gonna do maybe me and Corey, we collaborate and do an Olin Mill session. We'll do a special with the Olin Mill pictures.
Christmas photos had me rolling. When they did that JCPenney thing,
baby.
Oh, they had me rolling. That was funny though. Yeah, I enjoyed it because that's nostalgia.
But it's important to have it. You need a reference. Take a family photo. That child is going to school. That child gonna go to college. Gonna live his own life. Take the picture. Call somebody and take the picture. I don't care if it's not us. Just take the picture. Don't call me. I hate family portraits. Call me for your portrait, not for your family.
I love it. I love bringing families together. Yeah, I'm a family man.
And my sister, no, y'all could add it.
I love it. Like, just to see it. So
Super One. So we're looking for Corey needs some sponsors.
It's Brookshire.
It's Brookshire.
Gotta make sure.
But it's Super One though.
It is from Super One, but it's Brookshire water.
See, I told you can learn something all the time. You can learn.
So before we wrap this episode up, I have one more question, which is: do you speak French? And if so, do you speak it fluently or just by phrases only?
I used to speak it very fluently before I left in '99. I stayed going 20 years, so it disappeared. I'm taking lessons with my mom again to become fluent again. But I still comprehend it.
Okay.
But it's crazy how it's like a switch. It turns on and off. So I'm back taking it. We'll have a French table. We'll do lessons with my mom. Because if you know my mama, you love my mama.
Hey, mama.
So she'll do the lessons and people love her. So we're going to do some lessons. We just talked about that whole thing.
Wow.
Maybe you could come co-host some French and learn too.
Look, I don't mind because my parents, shout out to my parents.
Collaboration. They speak French?
Yeah. That's their first language.
That was my parents' first language.
Like they speak it like it's in a...
so we could co-host and they could come on.
And I used to be fluent when I first got out of high school. I was fluent in French and Spanish. And then by not using it, I'm like, so now it's just phrases here and there. And those phrases that I use is funny, which is why this episode was called Mais Ga Sa.
Mais Ga Sa, hashtag.
Look, that could be part of your collection.
Mais Ga Sa? Yeah, we're going to have to put that for the extravaganza or something. I don't know.
So again, say what you got to say the first time, not the next time.
That's right.
Huge thank you to Milton.
Thank you
for being a part of today's episode. We're really excited again to have you on To Be Frank. Frankly speaking, it had to be said. It's your boy Corey J. I'm out. We out.
Peace. No, wait, hold on. Not yet. Y'all tell Corey happy birthday. It's coming up. We ain't gonna be ghetto.
How you know when the episode is coming out?
Oh, that's true.
Though I celebrate my birthday all month long. I celebrate my month all day long. So, and yeah, this episode is actually airing on my actual birthday.
You're not gonna shelf it? Happy birthday to Corey. A real one was born.
King's Kid, holding it down.
Peace.
Peace, yo.